Is it working? Okay, hi guys! We're back! Some more Kerbal space program. It's been a long time, but we are finally back. What can I say? The egg is still continuing his series across the internet of playing these games. I'm gonna continue, my own series of playing this game and doing things way better than he could ever do. And yeah, we'll keep on doing that. This contract never expires. I did not notice that. Anyway, so we already have 2 missions on the way. Just going through them just to like remind myself a bit of where we are. We do have this probe that we have sent. That it's over here. That we're gonna need to make a burn to return it to our sphere of influence. If we want to, we don't necessarily need to. And we do have 2 missions on their way. One to Minmus, one to the outskirts of the Kerbin sphere of influence, and they still have a long time to go through. So in the meanwhile, I decided that I said that I would do some very basic missions, sort of. So we have one mission to position a satellite in an orbit around Kerbin, in a very high orbit, if I may say so myself. That is in between the moon and Minmus, which is a huge altitude, so it will require a lot of fuel. I suppose we are going to have to use the moon lander, and we're gonna adapt it, the second moon craft, and we're gonna adapt it with a probe and make it so that it will land there. So let us check the contract over here. Build a new unmanned probe that has an antenna and can generate power. That is very important. Reach the designated equatorial orbit within marginal deviation. Have a thermometer on the satellite. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. Alright, that is all very good. So we are going to remove this. We're not going to need the science module. I mean, we're not going to need the this thing altogether. We're going to have a probe. That is quite obvious. Since we're going to have a probe, we might as well do things properly and attach what's it called? I think it's a payload. We might not have it yet. The airstream protective cone. Yeah, we do not have it yet, so we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, basically. We do have we don't need another decoupler over here. This can be on its own. They don't need landing struts, obviously. We might as well remove them. We're not going to land anywhere except back on Kerbin. But I'm intending, since we're gonna send this, I'm intending for this to be our first satellite. So is that how it's spelled? I might have completely punched the spelling over there, so I'm gonna have to check it in just a bit. But we do need to have thermometers. They have made it a requirement. Just in case, we are going to put in we're gonna put in some lights, obviously, so you can see what the hell is going on. We're gonna put in a parachute just in case things might need that. And since it's gonna be a satellite, we are going to equip some communication devices. Surface mount version of the Communitron, high gain antenna, short range dual purpose communication that can handle either direct communication or short range relays. I think this is what we're going to equip on it, and we're going to equip 2 of them like so. That looks pretty amazing if you ask me. So yeah, we don't need any more science. I think we have way more than enough fuel to get into that, but better safe than sorry. We still have the advanced inline stabilizer there for extra control, and the engines and everything else should be just fine. It can generate power. It is an unmanned probe. Yeah, I think we should have everything, so we're gonna save it up. We do need to check the staging every time, dude. I swear, these bites in the ass more than you can imagine. I think it should be fine now. What does it say over here? Electric charge generated but storage lacking. Oh right, very good. Yes, indeed, we do need that. They need to store the electrical energy, so we're gonna have some big pack batteries over here. That should be good enough. There's nothing concerning about this vessel. That is nice to see. And we're going to launch it. So the idea of why I want it to be a satellite is because you know, if you guys don't know, ever since like version 1. I'm not sure if 1.1 or 1.2 of Kerbal Space Program, apart from electricity, ships and most importantly the unmanned probe now requires to have communication networks in order to like be operable. So you might have seen when we launched our ships that as we went further and further away, the signal strength was getting like lower and lower if we didn't deploy our communication arrays. Well, in case of probes, if you lose signal to Kerbin, then you lose control of the probe entirely. So yeah, you have to keep that in mind. So when we're going to need to send like probes further away from Kerbin in order to make sure that we have a communication link towards Kerbin, then it is very recommended that we have a satellite in orbit that will act as an intermediary between the probes and the Kerbin. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain here. But anyway, let us launch. The launch is going to be pretty basic. We do need a like slightly higher, more different orbit that we usually aim for, but that's nothing too difficult that we cannot handle. Let's lower the throttle a little bit. Let's try to do this as efficiently as we can. We also have CurbNet access on probes, so this is also something pilots hope. Okay, waypoint. I don't think I want that. Oh, there you go. So you can see it now. So yeah, this is a new thing that has been implemented, and that is the CurbNet, which cycle automatic refresh, no longer automatically refresh, cycle visibility, display mode. Oh, we should okay, let's detach that. We shouldn't what I wanted to say is we shouldn't like spend time on the internet while we have a vessel to launch. That was pretty bad. But yeah, ever since like 1.2 they have added the ability to access CurbNet from the probes, and it allows you to do a few things like setting up waypoints, and it also allows you to see terrain below the probe. How do I delete waypoint? There you go. Let's delete all these waypoints. Not only that it allows you to do that, but it also allows you to see things such as the monoliths. It allows it to detect anomalies. That's what they're called. So we're getting further and further away. It's all fine. Guess we can keep it over here and it shouldn't distract us too much if we increase the field of view. Ah, there you go. Interesting. Alright, we should be fine to deploy the solar panels. We are high enough that it won't destroy them, like the atmosphere won't destroy them. How about the antenna? Can we extend them? Yes, we can. So now we should have very good communication with Kerbin at all times. And then we're going to put up the ship. So we do have thermometer, we do have, it can generate power. We are in space, so now we need to perform our orbital burn. Pretty safe and standard stuff, nothing to be afraid of. Over here, let us start before we start dropping down again. It's gonna extend our apoapsis, so we'll probably like stop like midway and let it get a little bit closer and then start again. Very interesting. What else do we have? Oh, visibility. I see. That like can allows us to set waypoints, area, refresh. It's very interesting. Okay, let us stop the burn, wait a little bit more. But yeah, the main usage for this is to like see the monoliths and all like the Easter eggs that you can find out scattered across by the developers across the you know, Kerbal system, basically, and there are many of them, and many of them are very fun and interesting. But it does require a lot of exploration. But it's a very interesting way to do it, you know, without like forcing you to, I don't know, watch things across the internet to see them, to like find the Easter eggs. Instead, you actually have to like use the actual Kirby internet. Altitude is apparently -1 kilometer. There are a few things about this that I don't really understand. I've never watched a tutorial about it, and I've played very little with it, so I'm not sure exactly how it works. But anyway, we're in orbit, so we might as well. I mean, we're going to wait until we are at. We can start at any time the burn, but we need to get our apoapsis to like 28 million meters. And then we will need to get there and get our periapsis to 24 million meters. It's not even like equal orbit. I don't really understand the point of it. It's pretty high up. I don't think like satellite orbits are that high up. From my experience, they are like at 300 or 400,000 meters, not at million meters. And the way they do it in order to maintain like continuous connection with all sites of Earth at all times is they have 3 satellites in sort of like an equilateral triangle. You know, if you can imagine on the orbit of the moon, you have like one that's over here. You launch them so that when they end up, there's gonna be one here, and one here, and that way there will be connection at all times between them and Earth. Alright, let's position ourselves and start the burn. Less talking, more burning, as you might say. So we'll need to, okay, we're out of that, so we might as well detach, start the next stage. We do have a few missions that we need to take care of, and that is obviously the missions, you know, to Minmus and to the outside of the sphere of influence. But apart from that, I also want to launch a few missions that, alright, we're going pretty high up. Careful now. Final approach here. 28 million. 28 the 476. It's gonna be very close burns here. Or that's way too much. Hopefully that's enough for the deviation, and then we can make like a few adjustments. Let's see if we can. The problem is that the engine is too strong, so I cannot like burn and like slow enough in order to not have it go too much. See, that's the problem. We'll check it out once we get there. So for now, we will need to wait until we get to apoapsis, and that will take 4 days, so that is still some time. So what does that mean? It means that we can launch some other missions while this goes over there. So just a small quick save, and we're gonna go back to the space center. Seems reasonable so far. So what I also wanted to do apart from these 2 missions is I want to launch some missions to like a few places where we have been before, and that is you know, the ice caps and the deserts. The reason is that we have unlocked new scientific equipment, and we can collect new science to these places we have been before, so we do need to redo the missions. Plus I want to do them with our engineer and scientist, and the reason for that is because I want to level them up. For engineer capable of repairing broken parts if at all possible. Increases research converter efficiency, increases drill efficiency. Yeah, we haven't even considered the drilling part. Can also, we might need to hire some new pilots, and especially we will need a new scientist, so we might as well hire him already. Does it cost anything to hire? Oh, we can see it over there. God damn it, I'm not very careful. We'll hire the one who's more courageous. Adlon Kerman, welcome aboard. Oh, that was a lot of money. Shit, I did not see that. They're so expensive to hire scientists. God damn. Alright, well then. We might not have enough money for the other missions, so we might need to accept a few contracts just to get this out of the way. Suborbital flight around Kerbin, orbit around Kerbin. These are pretty simple, but they don't give you any advance money. And it's so annoying. Okay. Well then, how much does it cost to like make one of those simple ships? 49,000. That is not enough, huh? We might need we might need to wait until we complete that contract in order to get more money. It is unfortunate. I completely did not consider how much it costs to hire the scientists. I could go back and try and redo it, but you know, let's try and live with our decisions. So where the hell is it? The high orbiter should be good enough. Yeah, even that is like too expensive for us. Can't afford to launch the vessel. So yeah, what I wanted to say is that I want to upgrade my engineers and can get a bailout grant. We don't have. We will need to cancel the unpaid research program in order to get the bailout grant. That's really unfortunate, but you know, might need to. So anyway, I keep digressing over here. The reason why we need to upgrade the scientist and the engineer most importantly, is that you know, the scientist can get like you know, process more science in the mobile processing lab and a little bit faster. But the engineer is very important, the first level, because it allows you to repack parachutes, and that is extremely important. You know, in order to like do missions like way further away, you know, on other planets, basically on like Duna and Eve. So let's fly this mission. We don't have any choice. We are strapped for cash right now once again. So we are going to need to wait the time to like complete this mission, and that will be like 4 days to get to the apoapsis. So it's basically like 4 wasted days, but I'm not too terribly concerned about it. We do need to wait for these missions as well. And to be fair, like, the egg on the internet has wasted way more time on his missions when he was doing his moon burn. So, you know, I think if we are to compare like what day we are on our space program compared to what day he is, I think we are pretty safe on that. Okay, we do need to go even higher speed, and we should be our apoapsis. Alright, and now let's see, 28, 37th. Alright, once we get to our apoapsis, we can begin our burn on the prograde in order to raise our orbit and make it like circular as they demand. It's gonna be roughly along the horizon. Roughly. Hey, come on. Just want to warp up time just a little bit more. 1 hour, come on. It's so annoying that the closer you get to the apoapsis, the slower you like move, because you know, you reach the point where the gravity has slowed you down enough, and that makes you like, you know, might make you accidentally go way too high on the burns over here. Whoa, that is way too much. Alright, let's see over here. Okay, roughly along those lines we need to do it. 24, a little bit less, but we should get it. So how much is that burn? 30 seconds. Okay, well then we can wait a little bit more. We don't need this maneuver node, come on. We are better than that. We are experienced professional pilots. Let us wait till we get to like 20 seconds. I think we should be fine. And we're gonna start our burn right now. full throttle ahead, raising our... Oh my god, we got a moon encounter there. That was pretty sweet. Okay, and now we must carefully reach the orbit. Hope it's right. So let's see, inclination 180, longitude of ascending node undefined, argument of periapsis, apoapsis, periapsis. Okay. I think it should be fine. 4, and that's roughly about it. I think our apoapsis might be a little bit too high up now because we have burned, but it doesn't seem to be by too much. So let me see. Is this what we need to do? I hope. I have the feeling. I don't know why. I have like the weird feeling that we might need to make the burn on the other way around. See, because of this, we do not know if we have met any of these parameters. Like if we speed up a little bit, how we are going. Yeah, see, this is the problem. We seem to be going like in the opposite direction. Do they want like a orbit that is like the other way? Well, I'm not sure. So you know what? Let's play smart. It's not the first time we have reverted to last save, so we're gonna do that again, and we're gonna go back to the space center. And basically, we're not going to hire any new Kerbals for now. You know, let us not tank our space program on its own. Okay, so let me go back to this. Yeah, so the problem is that our orbit is like, it's going this way, whereas this light is going this way, so we might need to like burn the other way completely, and it is possible, but so much wasted fuel, like for absolutely no good reason. All we need to do is once we get here, we'll need to burn retrograde, and after burning retrograde long enough, we will get to it. But yeah, instead, let us do what we actually wanted to do and do those missions with the engineer and the scientist in order to level them up. So we're gonna grab the high orbiter. Should be good enough. We will need, it does need a very slight modification, and that is it requires a probe, because neither the engineer nor the scientist know how to pilot these things, obviously. What gave you that idea that they could pilot something as extraordinaire as this? And yeah, apart from that, we should be fine. Everything else should be nice and steady. I also will want to launch a mobile processing lab in the orbit of the moon, in order to like process, like we're gonna launch multiple missions on the moon. That's the idea of it. And instead of like just getting them back to Kerbin, I'm thinking like we'll grab all the scientific data from them and have them processed in the orbit of the moon. And that can also help us, like, you know, practice like rendezvousing two vessels in orbit. It's a long way from now. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but it's something that I will want to do. So Bill Kerman, our current engineer, will be up for the task. Let us go. Missing a ladder. And we're also missing. We don't have storage, but we don't really need to. Oops, not that. Sure. Let's do it by the book. Let's add some pack of batteries right on that plop, and let's see about that ladder that they keep complaining about. Not sure if it's like long enough to reach all the way down. It should come out like somewhere over here, but yeah, it's, I mean, if we detach this last stage as well, then it is long enough. Let me see, extend. It's also not very straight up, so what we'll have to do is to go to rotate tool and rotate it like so. Almost. Come on. Eh. And maybe the move tool and move it like slightly lower. These are some of the tools that have been added at some point in Kerbal Space Program. It really helps you out on like making like some fine adjustments to your parts. Anyway, this high orbiter will be going to a very short but I will say important trip to the South Pole this time. We have been to the North Pole, so no reason to like redo the missions. Instead, this time we're going to hit the South Pole, and it should be awesome. I hope we're gonna have light over there. Alright, let's do this shit. Throttle up. Retract that. I should have put lights on. What am I doing? Okay, let's revert flight. You know, rookie mistake. It's good to see the mistakes before they bite you in the ass. And let's just put on some illuminators, just so we don't have any problems if we're landing on the dark. There you go, perfect. I mean, we're gonna say high orbiter for non-pilots. We're going to save it and we're gonna launch it and we're gonna see how it works out. I think also need to do something about the staging. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Max Bill Kerman, you're up for the task. Retract and let's rock and roll. So we're gonna go up as high up as the solid fuel boosters will allow us, and then we're going to tilt straight south, which is up on the nav ball in our case. As I said, you might be a little bit confused from the time like when we did the North Pole mission, for example. Oh, by this point, you know, we did missions to the moon and back. So if at this point you don't know how like the nav ball works, well, nav ball works how it works, but the ship is like refusing to cooperate. Shit. Okay. Alrighty then. Hey, let's detach these pieces of junk and let's try and burn ourselves to our designated spot. Alright, very slowly but steadily. Okay, Bill Kerman, ignore what just happened on the outside view of your ship. That is nothing that you should be concerned of. The automated probe is doing its best to reorient the flight on its designated trajectory, so please stay calm and fasten your seatbelts as we will be approaching our marker. Should also like rotate the ship back how it were, which is the wrong way still, but you know, should be fine. So I'll need to burn on this marker over here. How high up are we? 35,000 apoapses, and then we should just keep on it, no problem. And then we're gonna get on the last stage. Probably not the most efficient way to do it, if I do say so myself, but we're gonna do it regardless. Can't even believe it. This was the ship that allowed us to get into high orbit, and now we're struggling to like get it into an South Pole expedition. That is pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But that's what happens when you have to like use a probe on top of a fucking command pod because you don't have a pilot operating it, and instead you have just some okay, we are out of the atmosphere now, so you shouldn't like waste any more fuel. But yeah, instead you have some no good engineer trying to like perform the mission. It's not his fault, let's be honest, it's totally not his fault, but you know, just like to complain sometimes. Are there any new signs that we haven't gathered from over here? No, we have completely exhausted everything that we have. How about Bill? How are you feeling about getting out? Okay, get back in before you crap your pants. Let us recommence our burn. Let us also turn on the lights. And we'll try to keep on burning 180 until we get roughly to the South Pole. Should be soon enough. I mean, technically we don't even need to get an orbit, so you know it should be easier than what we have the capability for. But still, sometimes it doesn't work as expected. Loving the view though, like I can never get tired of seeing, you know, just seeing space and ships flying around in space. It's such a beautiful sight every time. Alright, we are still burning over here. The only problem that we might encounter is coming back. You know, we will need to like burn back this entire speed, and we all know how rough that is. Okay, that should be roughly fine. So let us quick save, let us not do anything stupid, and let's just go up and back down. And we can already see the ice caps, and we should orient ourselves retrograde just from the get-go. As we will need to slow down, we should also activate our radiator. Seems that we're not getting as much electric charge as I would have hoped for. Anything new on the science module? Nothing yet. Crew report maybe? Nope. Alright then. I guess oh yeah, we basically only have a single oh, we've never taken a material study from the upper atmosphere. Alright. But we haven't taken from like the poles either, because I think it exploded when we sent it, so I don't know. Guess we'll keep it, but see, this is why you need to keep like redoing all these missions like over and over again. It's annoying, I'll give you that, but it has to be done. Science must be collected one way or the other. Alright. Entering our approach here, there are also some very nice mountain ranges near the ice caps, which would be interesting to explore, although not too terribly safe. Alright, doing things just by the book mostly. I mean, it is very hot. Let's start burning to like slow ourselves down with whatever fuel we have left. So cool, we can see the moon from over here as well. I wonder, can we see Minmus by any chance? I don't think so. The moon, the sun. Alright, something is really heating up over here. I only hope that it's not the science module, but it might be. Alright, we're really getting in the thick of it now. It'll be the second time when we lose a scientific module on a mission, like on an easy mission basically. That should be like just to the poles and back, but I think we are fine now. We are getting like in the, we're really lowering our speed past like the dangerous parts, so we should be just fine. We are out of fuel though, but we have entered the final stage. Hey, we can see Minmus from over here. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. And we are getting very close to the ice cap, so let us detach the final stage. Whoa, alright. We're converting into a ballistic missile because obviously this part is way more aerodynamic, but fear not, Bill Kerbal, because we have the latest invention in our technology apparatus, the parachutes. Alrighty then. Anything new over here? No, while flying. Technically like flying over the ice caps, but I guess you have to be a little bit lower for it to count. Look at that. It's so beautiful to see like all these things, you know. You can see it over there, Minmus, over there the sun, the moon. It's also somewhere. Completely lost track of it somehow. And yeah, it's just gonna be a very simple, basic mission over here. We're waiting for the final approach here. Waiting for the parachutes to deploy, hopefully relatively soon. Yeah, that thing exploded. Hey, alright, that's the drogue chute. And the other chute as well pretty soon. Alright, nothing new here. How about here? There you go. Flying over the southern ice shelf. So that's something new at the very least. And we also need to take surface samples, so that is something new. So, and apparently it seems that the southern ice shelf is different from the northern one. So we will need to redo the missions on the North Pole as well. That is quite something. Alright, let's sit up straight and let's begin our final descent here. We can see it. It should be safe. Hopefully the ice won't crack. That would be like the most unfortunate end to the mission that could ever possibly happen. Yeah, it's weird because like while the crew report does recognize it, the and even like these ones, the mystery goo doesn't recognize the you know, while flying over the ice shelf. Recording. How much is the temperature, by the way? 286 Kelvin. That's not very cold actually. That is like what, 10 degrees Celsius? I mean, it's pretty chilly, but it's not like freezing or anything. How the hell is like 10 degrees over here? I guess it's because it's during the day, probably. Alright, slowly approaching. I think we have, yeah, less than 100 meters, so it's like roughly 30 meters above the sea level, and we should touch down just fine. There you go. Excellent work. Brilliant mission, all things considered. Let us explore the mystery goo. You observe the goo. Let us log in temperature and pressure data. And let us also get Bill Kerman out, do an EVA report. And apparently we can take surface sample from over here. Collected the surface, a sample of the surface. Really? You don't even need to like... Wait. Store experiments. Okay, let us get down. Oops. Come on. Careful, don't tumble over the ship, Bill. Come on. Hey, lovely. Sure, let's plant the flag as well. It's beautiful, man. It's another historical mission. First south. Yeah. First south pole. Poke. Expedition for science. Yes, indeed. And let's see. EVA report. Yes, surface sample. It doesn't say anything new like about the ice or anything like that. Alright then, well, let us go up on it and back. Looks lovely, man. I'm very proud of what I have done here. And yeah, we're gonna store the experiment. It's like the crew report and whatever. We're really losing, oops. Not meant to do that, I meant to like turn off the lights, because we're using too much electricity and the SS as well. Alright, and we're just gonna recover the vessel now. And I'm not sure if that is enough to level up Bill. It might need to like do another mission. I need to like do something like a little bit further, like getting into an orbit or something. He did gain XP, but not enough to level up. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But he did get some reasonable amount of science. It was pretty costly money-wise, so we will need to complete the contracts before we can do any more of these like missions to level up our astronauts. So I guess I'll do that. Let's try and do that. I know this episode has been pretty long enough already. But I really want to like finish this one as well, the satellite mission, just to get it out of the way. Let's try and do that again. Gonna quick save. We're gonna go all the way. I mean, wait, let's do it like properly. Let's go apoapsis, warp here. And that should like warp us automatically to the point where we need to. And yeah, we'll try to do that instead of like burning prograde as you might expect, since the orbit seems to be on the other way. We're gonna burn retrograde. So what will happen is that first the orbit will disappear and then it will appear once again, but on the other side. So it should be good. And I hope this will work. I mean, if this doesn't work, fuck me if I have any ideas. Another moon encounter as expected. Careful there. How much? 24 times, I mean, 0.3, 0.36, 69, and what we have, the apoapsis is like slightly higher up, so I mean, there's no way to like raise our apoapsis without raising the periapsis as well. So is this not what we want to? I mean, we have stability, have thermometer. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this mission. It might be something with the inclination that we might not have it right. But yeah, no, it's 0. Inclination 180 degrees. Yes, we do have that. Longitude, argument of the periapsis. It is an equatorial orbit. Within marginal deviation. I'm missing something over here, quite clearly so. It might be, you know, it might be the what it's called, the small distance that we have on the apoapsis, but in that case we'll need to like wait 10 days before we can do any adjustments. And it's really annoying because we cannot like make any more missions because we're really strapped for cash once again. But hey, I guess that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. That's as close as we can possibly get to that point, so like give me a break. 30 meters or something. Well, we'll just quick save it over here and we're gonna go back to the space center. It's been 4 days and hopefully some new missions have appeared over here so we can take them and do something about that. There you go. Scientific data from the surface of the moon. We can definitely do that. Observational surveys. I really don't want to do that. Rhino, liquid engine, radial decoupler while orbiting Kerbin. Temperature surveys of Duna. That's a very, very long way from now. Man, these missions like make no sense. They are like either way too easy or like way too difficult. Like they expect me like at this point to get to Duna and do temperature surveys. It is possible, I'm not gonna say it, but it's kind of ridiculous. Let's put it that way. Yeah, we should recover like this debris over here. What the fuck debris did we land? Let's get it. And we should also terminate this satellite. Well, anyway, I'll try this satellite debris, obviously. I'll try to see what I can do to get like a little bit of extra money over here. I'm not gonna bother with like doing like weird unnecessary contracts as I try to get myself back on the positive over here. But I'll be back next time, and hopefully we'll be finishing up the Minmus and Kerbal missions. I'm gonna call it the Kerbal missions because we're gonna go in its the Kerbal sphere of influence, right? Nothing new over here. Alright, well anyway, hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you next time. They're going to make. Bye bye.